Just in main event, Jey Uso has broken his silence. And what he revealed about the brutal SmackDown ambush, every name, every detail, every calculated piece of a plan designed to end his career, has sent shockwaves through the entire WWE universe that nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for. This just happened. The truth is out. The people responsible are exposed. And the road to WrestleMania 42 will never, not in a million years, look the same again. We are breaking this down right now. Suplex Rumble Nation, I need you locked in right now, because what we are covering today is breaking. This is not a scheduled, anticipated, telegraphed storyline development that we saw coming from miles away. This is the specific kind of WWE moment that arrives without sufficient warning, that lands before your defenses are fully constructed and hits you with the complete, unmediated force of genuine surprise combined with genuine significance. Jey Uso just broke his silence about the SmackDown ambush. He revealed everything. The architects, the motivation, the method, the specific, calculated pieces of a plan that was assembled with the singular purpose of removing main event Jey Uso from the WWE landscape permanently. And the WWE universe, in arenas and living rooms and sports bars around the entire world, received every word of that revelation with the specific, collectively processed shock of people whose entire understanding of the current WWE landscape just shifted underneath them. Subscribe if you are new. Notification bell right now, because this story is moving fast and you cannot afford to miss a single development. Drop a comment telling me your immediate reaction to this breaking news. Let's go into every extraordinary layer of what Jey Uso just revealed. Before we reconstruct every detail of what Jey Uso revealed, before we go through the names and the motivations and the specific pieces of the ambush plan that are now fully public, let's establish why this specific revelation, delivered at this specific moment, qualifies as the single most significant individual WWE moment of the 2026 calendar year so far. Because that is not a claim I make carelessly on this channel. Suplex Rumble Nation knows that we measure significance carefully here. We do not inflate moments for views. We do not assign historic weight to things that do not carry it. When we say something is the biggest moment of the year, we mean it, and we can defend it. Jey Uso's silence following the SmackDown ambush was itself a story. A man who is defined by his voice, by the specific, authentic, completely genuine communication with the WWE universe that makes his relationship with this audience one of the most real in modern wrestling. Going silent after being physically targeted was not simply an absence. It was a presence. The presence of pain, of processing, of the specific internal work that precedes truth-telling. That silence created anticipation. Not the manufactured anticipation of a creative team signaling that a big promo is coming, but the organic, community-generated anticipation of fans who love a performer and want to know he is okay, want to hear his voice, want to know what he is going to do about what was done to him. When that anticipation is finally satisfied, when the silence breaks and the voice returns, and the truth it carries is as significant as Jey's revelation proved to be, the impact of the moment is the product of everything that built to it. The weeks of silence were not wasted time, they were accumulated investment. And Jey Uso just paid every single bit of it back with maximum interest. The biggest WWE moment of 2026. Not because of what was said in isolation, but because of everything that made the saying of it possible and meaningful and permanent. To feel the complete weight of Jey Uso's revelation, to understand why each piece of information he delivered landed with the force it did, we need to return to the SmackDown ambush itself and examine it through the lens of what we now know. Because the ambush looked different before Jey's revelation than it does after it. And the difference between those two versions, the before and after, of understanding what actually happened on that SmackDown, is itself one of the most compelling aspects of great long-form wrestling storytelling. Before the revelation, a brutal, shocking, seemingly disorganized backstage assault on main event Jey Uso. Violent, significant, clearly targeted rather than random. But the specific logic of its targeting, the why of Jey being the chosen victim, remained opaque without the context that only full knowledge of the architects and their motivation provides. After the revelation, a meticulously planned, carefully coordinated, multi-person operation whose every element reveals deliberate design. The timing not random but engineered. The location not convenient but selected. The method not improvised but rehearsed. The specific sequence of events that produced the window in which the ambush could be executed without immediate intervention, manufactured deliberately by people who understood exactly what they were doing. The SmackDown ambush revisited through Jey's revelation is a completely different event than the one the WWE universe originally witnessed. Same physical facts, entirely different meaning. Because meaning in professional wrestling, as in life, is not contained in events themselves but in the understanding of who chose them and why. What Jey revealed about that night transforms a shocking attack into something more disturbing and more narratively significant, proof that a sophisticated, patient, institutionally knowledgeable operation was willing to target him specifically to send a specific message to specific people. And those specific people, now knowing the full truth, are responding. The moment Jey Uso returned to WWE programming to break his silence was constructed whether by design or by the specific alchemy of authentic moments in professional wrestling with the perfect emotional architecture for everything he was about to deliver. His return was not announced, not teased with the usual promotional machinery that WWE deploys to build anticipation for significant moments. It arrived with the specific, urgent quality of news of something happening right now that demands immediate attention because it cannot wait for a scheduled moment. The arena felt that urgency. The crowd's response to Jey Uso's return was the specific sound of people who have been waiting consciously and unconsciously for exactly this moment, who have been carrying the weight of his absence and the unanswered questions it represented, and who received his return not just as the comeback of a beloved performer but as the imminent delivery of truth they had been owed. The yep that greeted him, generated by the crowd before he could generate it himself, offered as a gift, as a welcome, as the specific expression of a community's love for someone whose absence they had genuinely felt, was one of the most moving crowd moments of the 2026 wrestling year. The WWE Universe saying to main event Jey, before he said a single word, "We are here, we missed you, and we are ready for whatever you need to say." Jey Uso received that gift with the specific, completely authentic emotion of someone who understands what it means, who knows that the relationship he has with this audience is not a performance dynamic but a genuine human connection, and who was visibly, unguardedly moved by the confirmation that the connection had survived the weeks of his absence with its warmth fully intact. Then the crowd went quiet, and Jey Uso spoke. Now the revelation itself. And Suplex Rumble Nation, I want to be specific about how we honor this on this channel, because what Jey Uso said deserves more than a simple recitation of facts. It deserves the analytical attention that transforms information into understanding. He opened with the attack. Not from the perspective of the victim cataloging injuries, though the physical reality of what was done to him was present in every word, but from the perspective of someone who had examined what happened with sufficient distance and clarity to understand its complete design. His description of the SmackDown ambush from the inside, from the experience of being the person it was executed on, provided details and perspective that no external account could have offered. He named the participants. Specifically, directly, with the specific, unmistakable commitment of someone who is not hedging their revelation with qualifications designed to protect themselves from pushback. Jey Uso naming names in that arena was an act of genuine courage, because public accusation in the WWE environment creates its own specific set of consequences that the accused parties are fully capable of generating. He explained the motivation, and the why of targeting him specifically was the piece of the revelation that the arena and the watching world received with the most visceral, most complicated response. Because the motivation Jey revealed was not simple. It was not straightforward jealousy or competitive rivalry or the usual professional wrestling grievance. It was something more personal, more historically rooted, more connected to the specific, complicated landscape of relationships and alliances and long-carried resentments that the WWE's current chapter has been building across months of programming. The motivation, fully understood, makes Jey Uso the perfect target from the attacker's perspective, and therefore the most disturbing possible choice from the perspective of everyone who cares about him. He was not chosen randomly. He was chosen because of who he is, because of what his position in the WWE Universe represents, because of the specific message that his removal, temporary or permanent, sends to the maximum number of people the architects needed to reach. He concluded with a promise. Not a threat in the conventional professional wrestling sense, the aggressive, heated declaration of retaliatory violence that usually characterizes a wrong performer's return promo. Something more measured, more certain, the specific quality of a promise made by someone who has done the work, knows the truth, and is now moving forward with the complete confidence of someone who understands that the truth, fully revealed, is the most powerful weapon available. Jey Uso's promise was not about what he was going to do to the people who hurt him. It was about what the truth was going to do to them. And he was right. Jey Uso named names. And those names, now permanently public, now the subject of official WWE authority attention and bloodline fury, simultaneously tell a story about the SmackDown ambush that goes beyond the immediate event into the larger narrative of 2026 WWE. Suplex Rumble Nation, drop your reaction to the names in the comments right now, because this community has been theorizing, analyzing, and debating for weeks, and the specific identities Jey revealed are about to generate the most significant comment section discussion this channel has produced all year.